EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. Just a short time ago, sounds loud enough to reverberate across the Rockies. They're ready for football in Denver as the Broncos get set to do battle with the Indianapolis Colts. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. On the return, it's Nyheim Hines. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
The Colts take over first and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
So from the 17 now, here's a first and 10. The option to give to Taylor here. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down. This defense for the Broncos, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver? And time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. Wentz. That's caught by his tight end, Kylen Granson. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 39. Wentz going to bat this forward on the jet sweep. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. Second and 10. Off the option, here's Taylor. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
On play action, Wentz. He'll air this one out deep for Sims. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Rodrigo Blankenship for the Colts field goal. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was hoping for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
To throw is Perkins. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. Second and 10 from the 25. Perkins' throw pulled in by Robinson here. Allen Robinson, kiss him goodbye. And all the way home for a Bronco score. Well, we know that he can beat you in a number of ways. He can catch it short, he can take it long, or he can do what we just saw right there, catch it and then run with the football.
Yeah, and this just looked like a simple, ordinary play to start, but boy, did things change. Once he got free, it was off to the races, and once he hit high gear, there's absolutely no one who was going to stop him.
On the return is Hines. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Well, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
On 2nd and 12, Wentz. Throw left side complete. That's Campbell. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
First and 10, Taylor now. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. The corner, Ronald Darby, comes up to get him.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Second down at 5. Wentz going to give this to Taylor. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Escaping the pressure right. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. Well, when you've got a quarterback like this dead to rights, you got to make sure to wrap up. Instead, though, he breaks free and off he goes.
Yeah, and at the risk of sounding just a little bit trite, this is just a tackle that needs to be made. It's one thing when you've got a bruising 230-pound running back coming your way, but when it's a quarterback who's running for his life, your teammates will tell you, you've got to get him on the ground.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz. Oh, tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And the Broncos will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. After 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Throwing is Perkins. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Now Perkins. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Flush to his right, and he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line. Grover Stewart able to get outside the numbers and drop him for a loss of a yard.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and that leads to a play-action sack. So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Ronald Darby. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. McManus's point after is good, and the lead is now 17-3. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw is Wentz. Gets this to Campbell out on the right side. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
To the right side and into the hands of the tight end, Granson.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They were starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Wentz now on 1st down. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Steps away to his left. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete.
Whenever you see a quarterback break contain, just think to yourself, the receivers on that side of the field, their number one job, make sure they get in his sight line so he can try and find someone downfield. Guys on the backside, make sure you don't give up the deep ball. They tried it there. They weren't able to connect.
That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first, this one from 38. The kick by McManus is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there and a nice one for them. They force the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
And
his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Ssr Ind.
And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line.
Well, we heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting question because a lot of it depends on the head coach and the people making.
Williams loses the football, and the Colts pick it up. They are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Now, hold on a second. Why would they decline that? Charles.
I don't have a good answer for you, but let's work the math here a little bit. If you take the penalty, you get 5 yards. Minimum.
You're in the positive in the yardage, and you get to rerun the down you just had.
I like that. I like that little extra on top of the whole thing. This makes 0 sense.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now wins.
He's got Granson, his tight end.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it's a 2nd down. Working from the gun, Wentz. And this is incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Wentz going to lead for Taylor on the option.
And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. I think you'd agree that looked like the right call from up here.
No doubt about it. What everyone has to understand is that the officials are going to be right on the play each and every time. You may not like the call, but they're usually spot on.
He'll air this one out deep for Sims.
And now here's another interception. Picked off by Justin Simmons.
And the Broncos are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
I'm starting to wonder, Charles, if 5 interceptions, is that the last that we've seen of him?
Well, I think that a lot of people hope that's the last they've seen of him in this game, probably including himself. If this were baseball, The manager would have been at the mound already and asked for the ball, and he'd be in there getting a shower. But in football, you might have to go stand on the sideline and watch the rest of it and see if your backup can do any better.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. 2nd and 10. From the gun, Perkins. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. On first down, Perkins. That is taken in by the tight end Finn. He will go out right near the 35-yard line.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Flushed out right, and he'll just get rid of it.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. This will be caught. Jeudy. Touchdown, Broncos. Jerry Jeudy, as the first half is winding down. And the Broncos will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point from McManus is good. And a rout is on here in this first half. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive as they go to work with 12 seconds on the clock. And that's caught by the tight end Granson. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
They'll fake the give to Taylor. Now Wentz. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point.
Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach? And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And the Colts pick it up. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Well, number one on the list of things not to do when you're up 3 scores in the third, that right there, give the football away.
I love when you speak like that. You know how doctors talk about taking the Hippocratic Oath, first do no harm? You just did the football-cratic one right there. Don't give the ball away when you have a lead that you can lock this game down with. And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They'll run here with Taylor.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown.
Jonathan Taylor.
Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Colts use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. He's got it, and it's a 27-10 score now.
Next to score, Broncos 27, Colts 10.
Sanchez now. He'll kick it away following the touchdown.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Off the play fake. Perkins. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep left side. And that's caught inside the 30. And they do finally get him at the 12. A huge play there for Denver. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the Colts 4-yard line.
Again, it's Williams. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On the option to give to Williams here. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 3-yard line.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him.
Touchdown! Noah Fant with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front. McManus's point after is good. And the lead is now 24. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
On the return is Hines. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Throwing deep for Stewart. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really...
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking for Campbell downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. .51 yards on the punt there. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And he'll be taken down, but first he gets deep into Indianapolis territory. A huge play there for Denver. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
8 yards to go on 2nd down.
Off play action. Perkins. Escaping the pressure right. And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Rocky Sin. And the Colts are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores. But, yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got in it.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They fake the give. Now Wentz. They'll roll him out right. And he's going to go down again. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up 3rd down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
On 3rd down, here's Taylor. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And bulldozing his way through. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Robinson. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. they tend to leave them in.
Being chased out left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
Quiddy Pay, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
The Broncos on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Play action. Now Wentz. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty as a result of that hit there.
So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Now Wentz.
Throw going to be caught left side here by Granson.
And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Oh, the option to give to Taylor here.
And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. A good run on 1st down, and now they contemplate a 2nd and goal situation.
Here's Taylor again.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Jonathan Taylor,
his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Colts get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And the lead now down to 20.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. K.J. Hamler returning it. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive.
And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they got the big lead here in the 4th.
Fighting through, and he's got space. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. It's a big play there for the Broncos.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And I actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the 3rd quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers college sign, meaning the 4th quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down. Perkins. Flush to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Grover Stewart getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly, and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
And McManus able to put it through. And that lead will move from 20 up now to 23.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. They give to Taylor out of the gun. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
51 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Wentz. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That's 30 yards now in the last 2 plays. Back-to-back 15-yarders, and they're rolling. On 1st down, Wentz. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. On play action, it's Wentz. Touchdown Colts. That's caught. Steven Sims Jr., his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer. So up comes Wentz as he and the guys on offense here will go for 2. Wentz going to look to throw. Forced out to his left. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Hamler now to return it. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And it's looking all the more likely that a 5th straight win is going to be in the cards. They'll try to run some time here with a 1st and 10. Perkins' throw pulled in by Robinson here.
There's Robinson showing the flash. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. It's a big play there for the Broncos. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Denver, they continue to be one of the best teams around as they move to 10 and